ever had that brilliant project idea, the one you know is a total game changer, only to watch it get shot down in flames? Yeah, we've all been there. Here's the thing. The problem probably isn't your idea. It's how you're selling it. So let's dive in. We're going to build the perfect business case, one that makes it impossible for them to say no. See, here's where things get lost in translation. When you walk in talking about improving quality or making processes more efficient, you're speaking one language. But the folks holding the purse strings, they hear something totally different. To them, improve our process sounds an awful lot like spend our money. It just sounds like a cost with no clear payoff. So what's the fix? Well, you've got to start speaking their language. Instead of talking about these fuzzy improvements, you have to talk about hard numbers and financial impact. Frame your project not as a cost, but as a way to either make the company money or, and this is just as powerful, stop it from bleeding money. That's what a real business case does. So how are we going to do that? We've got a playbook for you. We'll start with the language of money, then we'll learn how to uncover hidden costs. After that, we'll flip the script and go from cost to profit and learn how to speak like a CEO. And finally, we'll put it all together into your winning pitch. It's pretty simple, really. Show them the pain, show them the gain, and then show them how it fits their grand plan. Okay, first things first, we need to understand our foundation, the business case itself. Think of it like a translator. It takes all your technical, operational goals, reducing defects, streamlining a workflow, and it translates them into the one language the entire business understands: dollars and cents. Without this, you're just making noise. With it, you're talking business. All right, let's get into our first play. This one is all about making the current problem so painful, so obviously expensive, that doing nothing is no longer an option. We're going to put a price tag on the status quo by figuring out something called the cost of poor quality, or COPQ. So what does that actually mean? Basically, COQQ is all the money that just vanishes because things aren't perfect. It covers everything from mistakes you catch inside the building, that's an internal failure, to the ones that your customers find, which, is an external failure. It's the price tag for every single imperfection. And, the best way to think about this is the classic iceberg metaphor. It's perfect for COPQ, because what your bosses see on their spreadsheets, that's just the tiny little tip sticking out of the water. The real company-sinking damage is happening just below the surface. So what's sticking out of the water? Well, it's all the stuff you'd expect, right? The materials you have to scrap, the hours your team wastes on rework, the cash you pay out for warranty claims, dealing with customer returns, and paying for rush shipping to fix your own mistakes. It's visible, it's tangible, and it's what most people think of as the cost of a problem. But here's the kicker, and this is where the real danger is. It's what's lurking beneath the surface that can sink the whole company. We're talking about losing loyal customers who just get fed up, the soul-crushing loss of employee morale, the absolute chaos of managing unpredictable revenue, and the scary risk of massive compliance fines. This is the multi-million-dollar monster you're actually here to slay. Okay, so you've made them feel the pain. Now for play number 2. This is where you pivot from talking about cost to talking about profit. You're not asking for a handout anymore. You're presenting them with a legitimate business opportunity that's going to make them a whole lot of money. And seriously, you cannot overstate this. For a lot of leaders, this is the whole game. The financial benefit isn't just some nice-to-have detail in your pitch. For them, it is the single most important piece of information. It's the yardstick they're going to measure your whole idea against. Okay, enough theory. Let's look at how this plays out in the real world with an example from a manufacturing company called Trump. They ran a project focused on what seems like pretty small stuff, right? Using less paper and dealing with their trash more efficiently. So first up, they looked at something super simple: plastic bin liners. Seems small, right? Well, by making a few tweaks, they went from using 600 liners a day down to just 90. Boom. That one little change, $6,500 a year, right back in their pocket. A nice start, but that was just the warm-up. Next on the list, trash hauling. They realized they were paying to haul away half-empty dumpsters. I mean, literally paying to ship air. A quick schedule change to make sure every truck was full, and that's another $8,000 saved per year. You see where this is going? And they kept digging. They found another leaky pipe. Those plastic sleeves for job travelers were just getting tossed. So they set up a simple recycling program. Guess what? Another $4,000 a year. These little things are really starting to stack up. So when you add it all up, this one little project resulted in $46,000 in savings every single year. This wasn't about being green, it was about saving green. Now that is a number that gets people's attention. Okay, but here's a really important piece of advice. Your credibility is your currency here. Don't go promising the moon. It's always better to be conservative with your numbers. If you promise $1 million in savings and only deliver $100,000, you've lost their trust forever. Underpromise and overdeliver. Always. All right, on to our final play. And honestly, this is the one that separates the pros from the amateurs. It's not just about saving money anymore. It's about connecting your project directly to the company's biggest, most important goals. You have to show them how your project helps the CEO win. You gotta step into their shoes for a second. What's on a CEO's mind all day? They're setting the direction for the whole company. They're fighting for money and people for the most critical projects. They demand to see hard data on the results. And most of all, they make sure everything pushes the main business goals forward. So your pitch has to mirror that perfectly. Show them exactly how your project hits their objectives. Give them the solid data they need to go fight for your project. Hand them the clear success metrics they're going to ask for. You're not just asking for resources, you're handing them a tool that helps them do their job. Okay, let's bring it all home. You've seen all the different pieces. Now let's put them together into one lean, mean project funding machine. We're going to boil this all down into a simple framework you can use in your very next pitch meeting. And here it is, your 3-step playbook. It's simple. Step 1, make the pain of doing nothing impossible to ignore by showing them the full cost of poor quality. Step 2, show them the gain by framing your project as an investment with a clear return on investment. And step 3, align it all with the company's grand strategy. Pain, gain, and strategy. That's your winning ticket. So you follow this playbook, you get the green light, the funding is yours. Awesome. But hang on, that leads to the next big question. Are you absolutely sure the problem you're about to pour all that time and money into is defined with enough precision to actually succeed? Well, that's exactly what we're going to tackle in our next explainer.